Okay. Good morning, everybody. I keep forgetting. I need to start with an intro timer because I'm doing these on Twitch as well as YouTube, and I keep forgetting, but that's okay. One day I'll get there. Good morning, everybody. I'm Chloe. This is Rise and Right. I don't know if you'll be able to detect it at all, but if my teeth look really gross on the stream right now, it's because I just had a chocolate cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie. And now it's all jammed up in my teeth. So I apologize if I have gross mouth. I don't see it, but it is what it is. Let me just wash that down with some coffee so I have even grosser mouth. Yeah. So again, I am Chloe, and this is Rise and Right. We're going to be doing sprints for the next 2 hours. It is just me today. I guess that is normal for Rise and Right. I don't know. I feel like I got to go over the top to come up with stuff to say right now. It's just me this morning because it's always just me this morning, right? Anyway, we're going to do a 10-minute sprint, and then we're going to do some 20-minute sprints. So that 10 minutes is going to be a warm-up. It's going to be 90 minutes total of sprinting. I am editing actually today, which I don't normally do in sprints, but I thought, today was the day to do it in sprints. I don't know. We just got to accept this, right? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the first sprint going, get them going early, and then hopefully some people will filter in. We'll have a bit of a conversation and get some productivity in. This first one is, again, 10 minutes. It is 4 past the hour, so I will see you guys at 14 past. Okay, that was time. Let me know how you guys did. There we go. That was what I wanted. So during that sprint, Keenan joined us and Rose joined us. I am working on editing. I am editing a prequel novella. I am hoping to get this done today, but I'm at page 14 of 54, and I think I only did one page that time. And if it's taking me 10 minutes to do a page, I'm not going to get this done today, but I should. Like, normally I can do this. This is the second edit, and it's already gone through a beta reader. So this is really mostly scanning for errors, except I do keep rewording sentences, which is unfortunate because that is therefore a line edit as opposed to a proofread, and this needs to be a proofread. But because my beta reader did flag my typos, hopefully as long as I don't add any typos, I will be okay with this. But yeah, so I wanted this to get done today. It's probably going to be done tomorrow, which tomorrow is the 15th. That's not bad. It's due to go live on Amazon next month on the 17th. And I would like to get it out into a couple of promos before that, some group promos. Hopefully I can find a couple that are weekly, but that's what's happening right now. So yeah, what are you working on? Rose is working on coffee, the kids' school day. I'm also working on coffee always. Oh, there we go. I also I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm feeling pretty awake right now, except the words are not necessarily there. It was just a rough night. It is 10:16 where I am. I'm in Atlanta, 10:16 a.m. And I didn't go to sleep until about 4 a.m. So I am quite a bit behind. It is what it is, right? It's life. Hey, Thrifty Simplicity, thank you for joining. And let's see. Okay, so we are going to be doing the next sprint in about 2 minutes here. That was our first 10. We've got 4 20-minute sprints coming up. So anybody just now joining, all we've had is our warm-up so far. Since I am not talking so well, that means that we should be getting our sprints in pretty quickly. I do want to give us at least a 5-minute break though. So we can actually, basically do the Pomodoro fun. Let me go ahead and get that set though. And it's gonna actually start the timer probably. Oh, you know what? I could manually set it. I could actually reach forward and type. I use 2 computers, and one of them, the keyboard is very far away because it's my laptop that is there. Fun fact about me, I don't know. It's a weird morning. It's a weird morning. I also, before I started this stream, I baked some cookies. The batter, the dough was already made. It was made yesterday. It was this recipe that I did before and I didn't have any problems with it, but this time it said to refrigerate for an hour, which I'm pretty sure I did last time. I let it refrigerate for 3 hours because it was dinner time, and normally that's not a problem, right? But this time, once it came out of the refrigerator, it was rock hard. So there was no way for me to scoop it out. So I left it out on the counter overnight for it to get up to room temperature, and it was still rock hard this morning. I don't know. The cookies ended up slightly burned on the bottom, but they're also bitter chocolate cookies. So they kind of just taste like bitter chocolate, and hopefully nobody will think they're burned. Or they'll be so confused by them that they won't complain. All right, let's do our next sprint. 20 minutes on the clock. It is 19 past. So I will see you guys at 39 past. Okay, that was time on our first 20-minute sprint. Let me know how you guys did. I am, as I said, at the last break, just allow grammar to happen as it is. This is great that I can't speak grammatically because I am editing right now. Anyways, I only edited one page during the 10-minute sprint, but I edited 4 this time, and that makes me feel better. I don't think that I am concentrating hard enough on this. I feel like I am probably missing things. And that what's probably going to happen is I am going to put out a reader magnet that is not flawlessly proofread. It'll be a decent proofread. I'm pretty good at this stuff, but there's definitely going to be a couple more errors than I want there to be. But again, nothing terrible, nothing that I would worry that I'm going to get complaints about. And then right before this is due at Amazon, I'll do an actual proper proofreading pass to scrub it up a little bit more for paying customers. And people who read this as a reader magnet and decide to keep going with the series will just be pleasantly surprised that I'm not this bad with typos. It just is what it is. Deadlines. I wrote this as a reader magnet and then I put it on Amazon, not thinking, enrolled it in KDP, not thinking, oh no, this isn't how reader magnets work. Anyways, the other thing with this, I believe I mentioned this yesterday morning. So if you've heard this already, my apologies. I am filling in time right now. This story, so it takes place in the 80s. The main character is a demon who has just been introduced to movies, and the movie he is introduced to movies with is Cocktail, the Tom Cruise classic. So I spend a good portion of the beginning of the book roasting Tom Cruise, mildly calling him short, commenting on his middle tooth issue. I do refer to him as attractive and a standard of beauty at the time. So nothing terrible, of course, just the main character is concerned that because he is tall and has blonde hair and amber eyes that he's not going to be considered beautiful because he doesn't look anything like Tom Cruise. And of course he's fine. Anyways, I just hit my last Tom Cruise reference. That all happens at the very, very beginning of it. And now I'm a third of the way through. And there's just been a missing person thing. And he's at this crazy hippie commune. As somebody has just said that the new gods are TV and movies. And then somebody also says the new gods steal our people from us. So he's like, do we think Tom Cruise kidnapped him? And that is my last Tom Cruise reference, but it is my favorite one where I mildly accuse Tom Cruise of kidnapping Hippie. Because we have to make things fun, right? It is what it is. I know I've got a couple more people have joined us since the beginning. So let me know what you're working on if you want to share. And Thrifty Simplicity said this sprint was more like a warm-up, not been as productive. Every single sprint I do throughout a day, I'm a little bit more productive on. So especially the first, these morning shows, my most productive sprint will absolutely be the last one. So I got 4 pages done on this sprint. I fully expect that final sprint, which is 3 from now. We have 3 more sprints today. I fully expect to have at least 6 pages edited during that sprint. They're absolutely warm-ups. And that's also why I start with a 10. That 10-minute sprint is usually just my eyes figuring out what the hell they are doing. Am I reading? Sometimes it's my brain figuring out what it's doing, right? I've had plenty of these shows where in that first 5 minutes before we start, I'm like, I'm going to be doing this short story. And then we get back from the 10, and I'm like, actually, I decided to edit this full length novel. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint. I've got a thing at 1:00 today. So I am aiming to absolutely have this done by noon, my time, Eastern time. So we are going to keep this pace up. We've got 20 minutes on the clock. It is 10:45 here in Atlanta. So I will see you guys at 5 past. Okay, time up on that sprint. Let me know how you guys did. I edited, I'm going to say 4.5 pages. I was at page 18. I am now at 23, but also I finished a chapter. So there was a partial page somewhere in there, but progress being made, right? I am getting toward the halfway point. I'll hit halfway on the next one. I shouldn't say I'm at halfway now. I will absolutely be at halfway on the next one. But let me know how you guys did. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know how it's going. I'm progressing in this story. There was something I was going to tell you guys. As I was reading this, I was like, oh, I should mention this thing. And I have completely forgotten what it was. And that's just how it is this morning. It is just one of those mornings. But you know what? So I said before, I had a rough night last night. I couldn't sleep. Didn't get to sleep until 4:00 this morning. Which isn't normal for me. I have had phases in my life where that is normal, but it's not now. But so I still got up and I'm still doing this show, right? Which means I'm still working. And that's the important thing. And I'm keeping that clock running. So you guys, regardless of what you're doing, you are also able to get work done. So hopefully, if nothing else, y'all are doing well. I'm doing work, that's the important thing. I am going to have this done by the deadline. Hopefully I might have a chance later today to also get the book cover together for it. At some point, take a break and just plow through that, finally settle on an image to use and get that done, because that has been a stress point with this as well. It's okay. And hopefully get a short story done. I do have quite a few things that I need to get done today. Also, I need to get some baking done today because there is a party tomorrow that I volunteered to do the baked goods for. And so far, I have slightly burned cookies. And I've got slightly dried out muffins. I have been doing this thing lately where I'm going through one of the British Baking Show cookbooks. They have several cookbooks. One of them happens to be really cheap. Most of them, the ebook for it is 15 plus, I'd say. One of them is $2. So I've been working through those recipes. I now know why they are $2 because these are clearly not their best recipes. You know what? I can't even say that though, because not all of the recipes am I getting from that book. Some of them I'm getting from the British Baking Show website. And I'm doing a recipe that is Paul Hollywood's. It is his blueberry muffins. It was a really bizarre recipe where I had to chill the batter overnight, which is absolutely not normal for muffins. If you don't bake, I realize that probably doesn't sound like anything weird. But usually when you chill dough overnight, it's either because it's got yeast in it and it's part of the rising process, or it is a cookie dough that you're just trying to firm up so it holds its shape. So either you can shape it or so that it holds its shape. I have no reason to with muffins, except the way he did it was you put the batter into the muffin thing, the paper, and then you put the blueberries on top of it. So the blueberries stay on top, why would anybody want their muffin presented that way? Why would you not want the blueberries mixed in with your muffin? If you flour the blueberries, the muffins will stay suspended in it. If you ever bake something where usually it's not even with muffins because they're so small, there's no space to do it. But if you ever bake anything where all the little stuff inside it sinks to the bottom, But you flour it and it stays on top. I don't know why, it just does. But yeah, there was no reason for Paul Hollywood to do it this way, except to make the muffins look like lies. Because you see all of these blueberries on top, and you're like, oh, this is just chock full of blueberries. Like, no, that's literally every single blueberry that's in the muffin. That's what you're looking at right now. Okay. Hey, Laura, good morning. Good timing. We are just now starting another sprint. We are going to be doing 2 more sprints today. So, and we will end right at noon Eastern time. So 20 minutes on the clock. It is 11:11. So I will see you guys at 11:31. Good luck, everybody. Go get some work done. Okay, that was time on that sprint. Let me know how you did. I got another chapter done and another 5 pages done. So I did set myself up with that goal earlier of getting 6 pages done in the next sprint. And I am now crossing my fingers on that because we are coming up on our last sprint now. We talked a bit more about muffins over on YouTube during that sprint. Laura wants blueberry muffins. And I recommended buying them because the last 2 times I baked muffins, they went poorly. Basically, I did. Laura ordered some muffins. I love it. So on the British Baking Show website, both my camera is slightly off. I'm sorry that my camera's been slightly off the entire time. Now it looks crooked. Anyways, on the British Baking Show website, they've got recipes for blueberry muffins from both Paul Hollywood and Mary Berry, the hosts of British Baking Show or British Bake Off, if you are not familiar with it. And I did Mary Berry's first because Mary Berry's looked like a proper muffin recipe, whereas Paul Hollywood's did not. As I mentioned, I had to refrigerate it overnight. It was also an entire stick of butter, and it was the same. Everything's in grams, of course, because it's British. It was the same weight in butter as it was in flour. So it was a huge amount of butter and not a lot of flour. For what you would expect for muffins. So I did Mary Berry's first. And Mary Berry's, if they had been advertised as blueberry biscuits, I would have been like, yes, this is weird that you are presenting them in a muffin paper, but this is a blueberry biscuit. This is a biscuit that blueberries have been added to. Also, that recipe was weird because it called for confectioner's sugar. I don't recall the name for it now. The British have another name for it, but it is both of their sugars, like what we just call sugar, granulated sugar in the US is castor sugar. And then I'm blanking on what confectioner's sugar is there. Anyways, or they're both, it's weird. The sugar's weird, whatever. So yeah, Mary Berry's called for, I'm going to look it up right now because Laura asked if it was refiner's sugar, and I don't think that's it. And so it's going to bother me. So this is happening while I talk about it. But anyway, so I did both of their recipes. Like I said, Mary Berry just ended up strange because it was more of a biscuit than a muffin. Oh, no, that is castor. Wait. That says castor sugar unless I pulled up. Anyways, doesn't matter. Basically what this boils down to is that every single time I read a recipe, I have to Google stuff to figure out what they're talking about. This is funny because it says castor in parentheses fine, but I'm positive castor sugar. I wonder if I messed up that recipe. No. Castor sugar is confectioner's sugar. There's another term for regular. Anyways, whatever. Moral of the story is that I have made muffins twice in the last 2 weeks, and both of them ended up weirdly disappointing. Paul Hollywood's, like I said, it called for this crazy amount of butter, and the butter leached through the wrapper, which is normal. This happens, but the muffin ended up being weirdly dry. The bottom of it dried out, and I think it's actually because of the butter. It caused it to overbake slightly on the bottom and dry out. So it was actually a decent tasting muffin. But literally the one problem that I was like, there's no way this is going to happen is exactly what happened with it. And also that weird disappointment that when you bite into it, there's only blueberries on the top of it and there are no blueberries actually inside it. I want it to have little blueberries inside it. That's it. Anyways, we've got one more sprint to do today, and then we are calling it a day. So we are putting 20 minutes on that clock. Let's see. There we go. 20 minutes on. It is 36 past, so we're going to end at 4 minutes of the hour. Perfect timing. Good luck, everybody. Okay, that was it. That was time on our final sprint. Let me know how y'all did. I did manage just barely to get that 6 pages, and of course, like that 6 pages was probably more like 5. I am at the top of the 6th page, but I started on page 28 and I ended on page 34, so I'm counting that as 6. Also, I started today on page, I think 13 or 14, but I think 13. I think I started on page 13 and I'm at 34 now, of 54. So I've done 21 and I only have 20 left. So if you were here at the very beginning, you know that after that first little 10-minute sprint, I had this panic of, oh my God, it took me 10 minutes to read a single page. I am so screwed for the day. And now, after I end this, I'm going to go have lunch. And then I've got a co-writing session from 1 o'clock to 2:30. And I might legitimately finish this during that. If I'm doing 6 pages in 20 minutes, those are 2 half hours. And I might be able to. I'll get close. You know what? I will definitely not finish it during that because one of these scenes is brand new. So that obviously I'm going to be like going a lot slower on the edits, but I feel really good about the day. I'm going to be able to do something other than this, which, I was worried for a little bit there that like, not only was I not going to be able to get other stuff done, but this was also going to have to bleed into tomorrow. And that's not the case. So some closing notes from others. Laura got an Oreo McFlurry for second breakfast. Laura, you are in Canada, correct? Is that, do the ice cream machines at McDonald's actually work in Canada? Because that's not like just an urban legend or anything. The ice cream machines at almost every McDonald's I've ever been to have been down most of the time. So that's like a little gold mine right there that you got an Oreo McFlurry. McFlurries are really good though. I just haven't had one like 8 years. And then Thrifty Simplicity managed to make coffee and toast. Very little work was done. Hopefully this is the beginning of your day as well. And you've got a whole day in front of you to actually get work done. Because that's where I am. I have a little bit more baking today. I'm going to be making baklava today. I hate baklava. I don't know why I'm making it. I just have, you know what it is? It's because I have a box of phyllo dough that I've had thawed for like a week and it really needs to get used. Yeah. So, okay. So, bye, Laura. It usually do work, but there was a time when it was down for a month. That must have been like an actual repair. From what I understand, they're kind of sucky to clean. And so a lot of times, instead of wasting the time cleaning them, they just shut them down. Like, oh, it's a sanitary issue if we don't clean this right now, but we don't have time to, so we're just not going to use it. Anyways, so that is the end of the show for today. I will not be streaming this weekend. I usually don't stream on the weekends. Tomorrow, though, I will most likely over on YouTube be on Jace Maxwell's stream, which is going to be happening at 3:30 instead of its usual 4, because it is Sako's birthday, and Sako's birthday party is at 5:30 or 6. So that is what's happening with me tomorrow. If you guys watch Jace's stream on YouTube, then you will most likely see me there. If not, I will see you next week. My evening sprints, my night write will be on Tuesday this week. And as per usual, these things will bounce in whenever they happen. Hopefully I'll have one on Monday. But you guys all have a great day. or great evening, depending on where you are, and a wonderful weekend, and happy productivity, everybody. Bye.